Welcome to GoneAForeign. I'm Nazim, and today we're going to talk about getting robbed and how you can avoid being the victim. I'll go over 5 tips so that you and your things them can be safe when you're going on your next trip. Robbers are looking for easy pickings. So anybody who's dazed or confused, or probably just someone who hasn't watched this video, so be sure to share every traveler you know. It's important to remember that you can get got by anybody. From little kids to pretty girls to old people and anyone in between. So you gotta take every situation at face value and above all, protect yourself. Tip number 1, secure the bag.
Now look, this is my backpacking bag. When I'm on the road, it's important to lock all important things in large compartments. And you want to keep all your zippers to one side. Important things could be keys, passports, any type of tickets you may need. You want to make sure they're stowed away, but still easily accessible. This is an important reason why you don't want to keep anything of importance in your front compartment, because things can fall out. And when they do, you're going to find yourself in a sticky situation real fast, which leads us to our next tip.
Tip number 2, wrap it up.
You never want to keep your money all crumpled up like this. This can make it easy for someone to take your bag while you're distracted, or take the money itself. Even the wind can take your money in this situation. It's best practice to keep all of your money in the same place, and to keep your bills in order from smallest to largest, with the smallest ones being on the outside. And if you happen to have a large amount of bills, you can even use a rubber band so they don't get lost. The objective with this is to not show off your big bills every time you have to take your money out to buy something. I'll do a whole separate video on the art of haggling, but right now, let's just say you're purchasing something from a street vendor, and everything comes up to $12. See how I got a strong grip on my money? No one's taking that. And this whole time I'm taking out $12 without showing off the 20s or the 50 that I got in there. And then when you're done, you can just put it all back in your wallet, nice and safe. Me personally, I like fanny packs, but we'll get into that on our next tip.
Tip number 3, hide the strap.
With purses and fanny packs, or any single strap bag, they can be robbed by someone snatching or cutting the strap. I've seen this happen in crowded areas or by people passing by on motorcycles. So holding your bag like this, or just over your clothes in general, can again make you easy pickings. So that's why you want to keep the strap covered by your clothing at all times, leaving the only exposed part in front of you, and with a lock on it, going back to tip number 1.
Tip number 4, keep them close. When you're on the move, it's a hot spot for the owner to try to come for your stuff. So you always want to keep physical contact with your bags at all times. This may get tricky on buses and planes.
But when you're taking a cab, you want to avoid doing this right here. Last thing you want is to get to your destination and someone tell you it's going to cost an extra sum of money just to get your bag out of the trunk. Or worst case scenario, as soon as you get out of the car, the driver just pulls off with your bags. With that being said, next time you're in the back of a taxi, a tuk-tuk, or a cab, make sure you keep your bags with you. And always keep them close.
Tip number 5, if you don't need it, don't bring it. If you're anything like me and feel naked without your chains, every time I travel,
I wear my Jamaican beads. For me, it reminds me of where I came from when I'm far away from home. But whatever works for you, definitely find inexpensive alternatives to gold and silver will help draw less attention to yourself.
If you're looking for an alternative to group tours and resorts and want to learn all the tools you need to experience the beautiful world we live in, subscribe now, because I got a lot more tips for you. GoneAForeign, let's go.
Thanks for checking out the channel. And while you're here, check out some of these other videos. And don't forget to click the subscribe button below.